Good. How about the vocabulary? Want to look at the vocabulary focus? All right. In the vocabulary focus, we've got a few words here. I want you to tell me, after I pronounce them, can you give me the syllable stress code? Show me and tell me what the syllable stress code is. I'll say the phrase. So you want to tell me how many syllables and which syllable has the stress. Ready? Be good at. Be good at. 3, 2. 3 syllables, stress a second. Chop. Chop. 1, 1. Chop. 1 syllable. Chopsticks. Chopsticks. 2, 1. 2 syllables, stress the first. Dumpling. Dumpling. 2, 1. 2 syllables, stress the first. Feel like. Feel like. 2, 1. Notice how I said this word sounds like these two words sound together. I'm linking them together. La, feel like. La, feel like. Feel like. I'm linking those together, right? Because it's a phrase, all right? Matter. Matter. 2, 1. 2 syllables, stress the first. Mushroom. Mushroom. Also 2, 1. 2 syllables, stress the first. Practically. Practically. I'm hearing 3, 1, and I'm hearing 3, 2. Okay, watch me. Watch me. Watch me. If it's 3, 1, it looks like this. Practically. If it's 3, 2, it's like this. Practically. So which one is right? Practically or practically? Practically. Stress the first syllable on this word. Practically. Practically. Good. Do you see a syllable that's reduced to nothing? Do you see a vowel that doesn't speak, a mute vowel? The A, right. Lots of times when we have a word that ends with A-L-L-Y, there are a lot of words that end with A-L-L-Y. In many cases, we don't even pronounce that A. Okay, it can be pronounced. It's possible to say practically, practically. It's okay to make it, but don't say practically. Don't make it long. Make it really short, very short, and weak. Reduce it, schwas out, practically, practically. So that's possible. But you know what? Practically nobody does that. Practically, just get rid of it altogether. Lots of words with A-L-Y. Yeah, have that ending, and you can omit it. Not in spelling. Remember, still need to spell A-L-L-Y. But in pronunciation, you put more of your emphasis on the first syllable. Practically. Practically. All right, let's try another word. Prawn. Prawn. That's 1, 1. So what's 1 syllable? Okay. Refrigerator. Refrigerator. You met this word in lesson 1 and lesson 2, so by lesson 3 you must know refrigerator. 5 syllables, stress the second one. Right. Refrigerator. Okay. How about this one? Restaurant. Okay. I'll tell you what. This word can be pronounced in more than one way, but I'm going to pronounce it this way, and I want you to listen to the way I'm pronouncing it at this moment and tell me how many syllables you hear. Restaurant.
2, 1.
How many do you hear me saying? Restaurant. 2 syllables. You hear me say 2 now, right? Okay. And 2, 1. All right. So we can say this word restaurant with only 2 syllables. We can also say restaurant with a second syllable very weak, a schwa sound. So we can say restaurant, or we can say restaurant. All right. But don't say restaurante. And don't say ristorante. That's very good in some other languages. It's perfect, okay? In some languages, you must pronounce 4 syllables. But in English, that's too many. We can only pronounce 3 maximum, and the second syllable must be very weak, all right? We use the spelling that the French gave us, but we don't use the pronunciation they gave us. So how do you say it in French? Do you know? Restaurant. So they don't say they say oh. But we don't want to say restaurant, okay? So in English, we have to say, we just get rid of it. Get rid of it. Just say restaurant. Restaurant. Okay, 2 syllables. Stress the first. Restaurant. You just have to remember to spell the letters in there, but don't pronounce all of them, okay? How about this word? Skin. Skin. 1, 1. Right, okay. How about soy sauce? Soy sauce. 2, 1. Soy sauce. All right? How about stuff? Stuff. 1, 1. 1 syllable. Wrap. Wrap. 1, 1. How about would rather? Would rather. 2-1. 3-2. 3-3. 3-1. Would rather. 3 syllables. Okay. Where's the stress? Would rather. Okay. Good. 3-2. Would rather. And when you say I would rather with 3 words, how about if we make a contraction out of that? How do we pronounce it? How do we make a contraction? Do we contract the first 2 words or the second 2 words? I would rather. How do you make a contraction? I'd rather. I'd rather. I'd rather. I'd rather. I'd rather. Would you like to be my partner? I'd rather be her partner. Oh, no, I'm sorry, sure. No. All right, so I'd rather. I'd rather. Listen to the linking, okay? I'd rather. I'd rather. I'd rather go now and go early. I'd rather get a good parking space. All right, good. All right, so what is the first one? A piece of equipment that uses electricity to keep food cold. That's a what? Refrigerator. Let me hear your beautiful pronunciation on that. Refrigerator. Right. A refrigerator is a piece of equipment that uses electricity to keep food cold. How many syllables are there in the word electricity? Okay, now tell me the syllable stress code for this word electricity. Electricity. 5. 5 what? 2. 5. 3. 5. 4. Which one? Okay, watch me. Watch me. Okay, if 5-1, electricity. If it's 5-2, electricity. If it's 5-3, electricity. If 5-4, electricity. If 5-5, electricity. Not that one. Okay, so which one is it? 5-3, electricity. Okay, good. Let me hear you say it. Electricity. Electricity. Good. All right. And to means to cut into small bits with a knife. Which one? Chop. 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 Okay. What's a small piece of steamed or boiled dough served with meat or soup? Dumpling. Dumpling. Can you eat a dumpling? I can't eat just one. I have to eat dumplings. Right? Do you like dumplings? Okay, so you don't like dumplings? Okay, save them for me. Okay, there are a lot of different countries with their food culture have different kinds of dumplings. All right, so usually it's made with some sort of dough. Dough. What is dough? Dough. D-O-U-G-H. The G-H is silent. What is this word, dough? What does it mean, dough? Yes, just flour. It's flour mixed with water and maybe something else, some other maybe spices or maybe sometimes the dough is just water and flour and sometimes a few more things like yeast to make it rise. Okay, so and you have to mix it together and you have to knead it, so it makes the wheat rise a little bit, get lighter. Okay, so the dumplings can be made of dough, and the dough, if you have a big pot of soup, maybe chicken soup. Like a traditional American chicken and dumplings would be cook the chicken in a big pot with water, and as it boiled, and then when the chicken's almost done, you take the dough and you cut them into strips, and then you drop them into the boiling soup, and then you eat it together with the chicken. Okay, that's chicken and dumplings. But other kind of dumplings, you take the dough and you make it into squares, and then you put good stuff inside, yum, 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 maybe meat or shrimp or vegetables or whatever you like, and then you wrap it all up. You have a little package, and then you drop it in the hot water, and then you boil it. So, you know what I'm talking about? You make dumplings? You? Yeah? How many of you make dumplings? Okay, how many of you eat dumplings? Okay, a lot more hands for eating dumplings than for making them. Okay, so how about the third one, the fourth one? It doesn't if the pen you use is blue, black or blue, as long as it writes. It doesn't matter. Right. M-A-T-T-E-R. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether the pen you use is blue or black. Black or blue, it's okay. That's fine. Both of them are acceptable. They're both acceptable. Okay? Should you wear a sweater or a jacket? It doesn't matter. Whatever you prefer. Both are fine. Okay. But if you're going to a formal dinner, then you probably need to wear a suit. It does matter there. It matters. It matters. That means you should pay attention to and wear something more formal, something that will fit that occasion. Okay, how about number 5? What is a kind of seafood? It's kind of seafood like shrimp. Okay, say the word prawn. Prawn. Okay, I see some of you going prawn, but it's not prawn. It's prawn. A lot of times in English spelling, when we spell A-W, we say all. We don't say ow, we say all. So for example, when we say take your colored pencil and draw a picture, D-R-A-W, it's pronounced like this. Watch this shape. All. Look in your mirror. Say all, draw, draw, draw. Okay? So at L-A-W, how do you spell that? I mean, how do you pronounce that L-A-W? Law. 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 Follow the law. 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 Right? So lots of times. How about A-W-F-U-L? What is that? A-W-F-U-L. Awful. 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 Oh, I look awful. I feel awful. The smell is awful. Okay, awful. Awful. It's all sound. Okay, so this one also prawn. Prawn. Are you looking at your lovely lips? Make sure your lips are open and open your jaw. J-A-W. See this one? What is this called here? The jaw. The jaw. Jaw. J-A-W. Pronounce jaw. Here's my jaw. Okay, I'm looking at my jaw in the mirror. Are you looking at your jaw? Yes, you're looking at your jaw. Okay, and this word is prawn. Prawn. Number 6, the thin outer layer of the body. Or of an object is the skin. The skin. All right, obviously we all have skin. The skin keeps our insides in. What about the skin of a banana? What do we usually call that one? You also call it something else besides the skin. The skin of a peel, right, peel, P-E-E-L, right. Lots of times we use the word peel for a fruit. The skin of a fruit, apple peel, and skin, that skin, right, or orange, right, P-E-E-L, right. This one I think a lot of you are familiar with. It's a dark, salty sauce made from soybeans. It's soy sauce. How many of you use soy sauce in your cooking? Do you use soy sauce in your cooking? Okay, so I see a lot of you have this because it's often used in Chinese and other East Asian kinds of cooking, and we have a lot of Chinese and East Asian people here. And so it's very common in that kind of cooking. Okay, so how about this one? We're talking about your preference. I'd prefer to have Italian food, but Lee, Vietnamese food. Would rather have Vietnamese food, right? Okay, so this is talking about your preference. Lee would rather have Vietnamese food. Right, so I'd prefer to have Italian food, but Lee would rather have Vietnamese food. Okay, I don't know about you. How about you? What would you rather have? You don't want to eat? Okay. No. Don't eat. Don't eat. Don't like food? Don't come with me. You like food? Come with me. Okay. Oh yeah, you're hungry right now. Too much talking about food. Okay, so what is a kind of fungus with a stem? A stem and a cap. Okay, so it is a mushroom or is it a mushroom? Mushroom. 2-1. Pronounce with a syllable higher on the first syllable. Mushroom. Okay. Some types are good to eat, but other types are dangerous. What do you call it when they're dangerous to eat? Poisonous. Poisonous. P-O-I-S-O-N-O-U-S. How do you spell poisonous? P-O-I-S-O-N-O-U-S. Okay, let's pronounce it. Poisonous. Okay, watch the lips. Watch the shape of my mouth. My mouth is open really big for the first syllable. It's 3-1. But it's very reduced for syllable 2 and 3. Watch this. Poisonous. Poisonous. Look at your own lips. Poisonous.
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 Okay, don't eat any poisonous mushrooms, all right? Okay. Do any of you like mushrooms? Raise your hand if you like mushrooms. Let me see. Oh, that's a lot of people. Okay, raise your hand if you don't like mushrooms. Okay, see, a few people don't like mushrooms. Yeah, like my son. He hates mushrooms. We love mushrooms, but he hates mushrooms. But, you know, it's very interesting because his cousin he loves mushrooms, all kinds of mushrooms. So if they sit next to each other at dinner time, it's very easy. My son just picks all the mushrooms and gives them to a cousin. Gives them to his cousin. Doesn't like this one, gives them to his cousin. So they get along okay when it comes to mushrooms. All right, how about number 10? Before giving a gift to my friend, I'm going to wrap it in pretty paper. Right. What do we call that kind of paper? Color paper. Colored paper. There's a name what we call it. Like if you want to go to the store to buy paper for presents. Wrapping paper. Right. We call it wrapping paper. How do you spell wrapping? W-R-A-P-P-I-N-G. Wrapping paper. Okay. Now the word wrap. Don't get mixed up R-A-P and W-R-A-P. Which one is a kind of music? R-A-P, rap. Same pronunciation, right? Same pronunciation. Whenever we see R, or when we see W-R together, one of them is silent. Which letter is silent when we see W-R? The W is silent. For example, when we use the word write your name, it has W-R, but we don't pronounce the W. We just pronounce the R sound, right. So rap, R-A-P, rap, W-R-A-P, they're both pronounced in the same way. Okay, so let's go to number 11. Eating at a is usually more expensive than eating at home. Eating at a? Okay, look at me. Is it eating at a restroom or eating at a restaurant? Pardon me? Oh, okay. Look at your mirror when you say this word, because if you say it wrong, it sounds really strange. Okay, restaurant. Restroom. Restaurant. Restroom. Eating at a restaurant is usually more expensive than eating at home. Are you just laughing the whole time? Okay, now say that sentence in your mirror, okay? Say it in your mirror. Say, eating at a restaurant is usually more expensive than eating at home. Good. Did you look at your mirror or did you just hold your mirror and look at me? Sometimes. Right. Sometimes you do that. I know you do. Sometimes. Okay, let's try the next one. A lot of you know how to use these things, right? You have 2 sticks in your hand and you eat with them, okay? Okay, so what do you do? What do you call these 2 sticks used together in one hand and using? Chopsticks. 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 How many of you usually use chopsticks? How many of you usually use chopsticks? Okay, some of you use it very often. And some of you only when you're eating what? If you go to an Asian restaurant where they serve the chopsticks, okay, good. And do you know how to use them? Yeah, but it's hard. Just like everything else, practice makes you perfect, right? Practice makes perfect. So you have to keep on eating more Chinese food or Japanese food, right? That's a good idea. I grew up here. I was born and raised in California. So I grew up in Berkeley, and sometimes I had my friends over for dinner, and my mother used to cook all kinds of food. And if we have Chinese food, then my friends had to learn how to use chopsticks. And they would say, I don't know how to use chopsticks. I said, you can learn. You want to come back for dinner another time? You like this food my mom cooks? So then you better learn how to use chopsticks. So okay. And they got better. They got better. So I had to invite them more than once so they could have more practice. Okay, what is a word that we use for an informal way to say things together or a mass of stuff in a group? I said the word. Stuff. Right, stuff. Okay, so this is a general word for unnamed or unknown things. So there's a lot of stuff on my desk. Could be little things. Now, I want you to know this word stuff. When we use the word stuff, it's a non-count noun, and we don't put any S on it, okay? What is all this stuff on the floor? Hey, what is that stuff on the desk? Take that stuff out of here. Okay, so when we say stuff, it is non-count. Compared to the word things, that's a count noun. Take these things off my floor. Take these things to the car. All right, so when we use the word things, we have to have S. We use the word stuff, we have to use no S. It's a non-count noun. Now, here's another thing. Sometimes I hear my students mix up stuff and staff. Huh? Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay, staff. What is staff? Staff means the employees. Right, okay. So when I park, I don't park in the student parking lot. I park in the staff parking lot. The staff parking lot is for everybody who's an employee of Mission College. They have the privilege of parking there. And I have to have a special sticker in order to park there. That's a staff parking lot, but that's not a stuff parking lot. Staff. Okay, so look at your lips as you say this after me. Staff. S-T-A-F-F, staff. S-T-U-F-F, stuff. Stuff. Okay. All right, here's number 14. Since John, playing soccer, he was selected to join the school team.
Was good at.
Be good at.
Was good at.
Was good at. Is good at. Am good at. Are good at.
Was.
Okay, John, Third person singular. Cannot be am, right? Cannot be are. Can be is, all right? You can say is. Can you say be? John be? No, you have to conjugate the verb first. You got to put the verb in the correct form. So you have to say, since John is good at playing soccer, he was selected to join the school team. You can also use the past tense was. You can say, since John was good at playing soccer, he was selected to join the school team. So what's the difference? Well, we don't know if he's still playing or not. Let's say the team was, many years ago when he was in high school, but he's a big boy now. He's an older kid now. So he's no longer in school. Then you can use was, since he was good at soccer. Maybe he doesn't play soccer anymore. But suppose he's still good at soccer. Then you can use the present tense here. Since he is good at soccer, he is good at playing soccer, he was selected, and he is still good. Right? So you can use either the present tense or the past tense. But you have to conjugate the verb. That means you have to make the verb form fit with third person singular, he. Got it? Understand? All right. So how about number 15? If a container is almost empty, it is practically empty. It is practically empty. It is almost empty. It's virtually empty. It's almost nothing's in it. You know what I mean? So we can say practically empty. The word practical has a lot of meanings, but in this case, practically empty means almost empty. How about number 16? I'm having some ice cream. Do you want some too? I feel like having some ice cream. So if I say I feel like having some ice cream, does that mean in general or does that mean now?
Now.
I feel like having some ice cream. Does that mean now or just in general?
Now.
It means now. If you use the phrase, I feel like doing something, it means now. I want to do it. I like to do it, and I want to do it now. Okay? So if you say, I like ice cream, that may mean, I like ice cream, but I don't feel like having any now. Do you know what I mean? I like it in general, but I can't eat now. I'm teaching my class. It would look really silly if I started eating ice cream. You would get even hungrier. Right? Okay, so feel like means I want to do it at this moment. And it's used in spoken English. Any questions? So far, so good?
Yes.
Yeah? You sure? No questions for me? Are you sure? Okay. You ready to move on?